Sometimes when you're meditating, memories will come up, and things you haven't thought about in years, they'll come up, okay? So you just watch them, come back to the sadhana. If they take over your mind, then try and see what the affliction is that's making it take over your mind. It's not just the memory alone that takes over your mind, it's an affliction, okay? So very often it's attachment. You're remembering something pleasant from the past and this and that. So identify attachment as attachment, okay? And meditate on impermanence and bring your focus back. Yeah, or maybe some strong anger comes up. You remember something somebody did, or maybe something you know, and so you got to meditate on fortitude and calm your mind out. Or maybe you remember something really negative that you did. Yeah, and you have all sorts of regret, and maybe your mind's even very confused, like, why in the world did I do that, and how could I have done it, and you're very confused about it. At that point, then and if the mind just won't quiet down, then you stop, then you think about it. Okay, what was my responsibility? What wasn't my responsibility? What was my motivation? How did that motivation arise? What were the results of my action? You know, how can I counteract whatever affliction was present while I was doing that action and that motivated that action? What's the meditation I do to do that? Okay. And especially, one nice thing is if, you know, you're doing Tara practice, and then, you know, something from the past comes that you're just confused about, or you have a lot of regret and ambivalent emotions about, or you're very pained about, you remember something that was extremely painful, then, and that image is so clear, you know, kind of Tara, you know, where are you? But that image of that situation is so clear. Then bring Tara and put her right in the image of that situation. And she sits there and emanates green light that purifies absolutely everybody in that situation. Okay? So with Tara there, the whole situation gets transformed. You get purified, the other people were getting purified. So if you were harming them, that gets purified. If they were harming you, that gets purified. If you were harming each other, the whole thing gets purified. Yeah, it's really very, very helpful, I've found, you know. Just bring Tara with you into that memory and let her be there with her wisdom and compassion and radiate light that fills up you and fills up everybody else. Okay, it's a very, very helpful way if you're having, you know, some kind of strong memory come up that's disturbing you. Okay? So you don't need to push it down, the memory down. You don't need to get lost in the story. Okay? But you bring your meditation, you bring Tara into that. Okay? You bring Tara's wisdom and compassion into that, and try and think, if I were Tara, you know, when that situation happened, I was an ordinary sentient being. I was upset, I was mean, you know, I was on both the giving end of the harm and the receiving end of the harm. And that's what it was when that situation happened. But now, you know, what would happen if I could be Tara and be in that situation? And that person could say that or do that, and it just wouldn't affect me in that way that it did before. I have a new way, you know, I can be more patient and calm about it. And from my side, I'm not going to, you know, I don't feel like I have to retaliate, or I don't feel like I have to glom onto the person with attachment, or I don't feel guilty for what I did. My mind just feels smooth, you know. So you can also try being Tara in that situation that was very disturbing to you before. Okay? And I find this extremely beneficial for working with, you know, these memories and things that are so confusing that come up. Yeah? But you have to work with it for a while. Yeah? And you have to play with things for a while. Remember, everything's not gonna change just by doing something one time. Yeah? We're reconditioning the way our mind thinks, so it's going to involve repetition. And, you know, Some days you're going to be very concentrated. No, maybe not even some days, some sessions, and rejoice. Don't try and recreate it. Yeah. Some sessions your mind's going to be out to lunch. Don't get alarmed. Just keep going. Because remember, we're creating the causes for happiness. Yeah, that's our purpose, to create the causes of happiness. So just sitting in there, working with whatever comes up in our mind, that is practice, that is creating the causes of happiness. So the purpose isn't to have this far out meditation where you come out feeling like you're floating in the sky and Tara spoke to you. If that happens, great, fine, wonderful, okay? Yeah? But our purpose is to transform our mind and to work with what's going on in our mind. And this is a practice that will help us do that. Okay? Yeah? So don't judge your meditations as that was a good one and that was a bad one. Yeah? Just create the cause of happiness and keep going. Yeah? And then, yeah, your mind starts to transform. Yeah?
I have a question. Is the Tara meditation a purification practice?
Mm-hmm.
And so should I be thinking of the Flora and
Okay. Okay, so is Tara a purification practice? And if so, should I be thinking about the four opponent powers? Yeah, it is. You know, we can use this as a purification practice. We can use it as so many different kinds of practices. But if you look at the, you know, your visualization on page, keep on getting the wrong booklet, on page 7, okay, when you're doing the breathing, you know, that can be purifying. So as you're doing that, you can think about the four opponent powers. Or the next visualization on page 8, where it says, visualize that streams of radiant and blissful green light from the Tam and mantra letters at Tara's heart flow into you and to sentient beings around you. That can also be part of purification. So if you find that it's helpful to you, you can stop beforehand and explicitly do the four opponent powers. Or you could do them while you're doing the Tara mantra. But we already have in this practice, okay, you have refuge and bodhicitta, yeah. If your mind is full of regret, you have that. You have a determination to not to do it again. And then this visualization of the light coming from Tara into you is the actual remedial behavior, the fourth opponent power. So, you know, you don't have to kind of stop everything to do the four opponent powers. They're kind of, you can just organically include them in here. Okay? Okay, did you have questions? Because you had some before. I got them. And how about you? Yeah?